It's a travel day. I am headed from Oklahoma City out to Seattle. I am so excited for this trip. Thanks for joining me as I head to the great Pacific Northwest. I've lived in the Oklahoma City area for almost 4 years now, and this is actually the first time that I'll be flying out of OKC. I've flown through here before, back in the late 80s, early 90s, something like that. We were on America West. We left from Tulsa, just a little jump down to Oklahoma City. I mean, it's like, what, an hour and a half drive total time, so that flight couldn't have been too much. And then we went from there to Phoenix and then out to Seattle, which is where I'm going today. I'm headed out to Seattle to go to Game 3 of the American League Championship Series between Toronto Blue Jays and my hometown, Seattle Mariners. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get to see them in the ALCS. It's been quite a while since I did. I can't remember if I actually went in 2001 to the ALCS, but I know I did back in 1995. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Plus, I kind of tongue-in-cheek say that this will be my first road game in Seattle since it was always my home ballpark, right? So I went there, I don't know how many times, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times through the years since it opened back in 1999, 97. When was it? 99, I believe, right? But this will be the first time that I've actually flown up there to go to a game. I'm being a member of the group Ballpark Chasers. If you're not and you're into going to different ballparks, check them out on Facebook. It's a great group, almost 100,000 strong of us crazy people that love going to ballpark after ballpark. But being a member of Ballpark Chasers, I joke that, again, that this will be my first road game going back to Seattle. So very much looking forward to that, getting to see family, getting to see friends. But the first thing I have to do is get to my gate. So why don't you join me as I make that walk? Check this out. They have Legos. Nice. We have the 23 gram one. Look at that big of a bottle of water. Guess we'll just do one of these. I know that people buy a lot of things when they're at the airport: candy, gum, waters, sodas, but do they really buy hot sauces and salsas? I don't know, that really kind of caught me off guard. I thought it was very interesting. Of course, I know they buy like souvenirs and stuff like that of the place that they're at. But check out these socks. These socks made me laugh. With braces on both my legs, it really does not matter what my socks look like, but I just thought those were really kind of cool. Of course, if I didn't have those, I might wear socks that showed stuff like that, but since I do, that really was nothing more than a chuckle for me. Looking around more at stuff here. Now, this is the typical stuff I expect to see at an airport store. You got your magazines over there. You've got your local souvenirs. You've got stuff like this t-shirt right here for Bricktown. It's a really neat area. Some people might call it a tourist trap. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things to do down there, places to eat, things to see. I go down there most of the time to go down to Bricktown Ballpark to see the Oklahoma City Comets, the Dodgers AAA team. And we go down to Bricktown Comedy Club quite often as well. But check out the prices on these things. That's what really caught my attention. I know it's always expensive at the airport, but good golly. Guess because you're kind of a captive audience, right? You either get it there, pay that price, or you don't. I made it to my gate with plenty of time to go, so I just had to sit there. I couldn't help but notice that that poster on the wall over there is my next adventure after this one. But just looking around, it's been a long time since I've been at an airport, especially waiting for a plane for myself. So I was checking everything out. It's glad to see that I was at lucky gate number 5. 5 is one of my lucky numbers, always has been. Probably dating back to the 80s with George Brett in Kansas City, who was a Royal. He wore number 5. I just kind of have always liked that number ever since. But just checking the place out, taking time to try to keep my nerves down since it's been forever since I have flown. Wasn't too much longer, and then we started to board, headed down that jetway for my first time in over 9 years. That's when the nerves started building. But I was glad to say for the first time in 25 years, the seatbelt connected without needing an extender, so that was exciting. I look at the leg room of the economy plus seats. It was an extra $20. It was totally worth it. And then we were on our way. And it didn't seem like it was that long. It was just a little over an hour, and we made it to Denver. I haven't been to the airport in Denver since December of 2008, so let's go check it out. Looking at the big board here, I can see my flight there to Seattle, Tacoma, United Flight 2271. It is on time for an 8:01 departure at gate B10. So checking out this map, I know that I came in at gate 68. I can see how far I've gone so far, and I know I got to go to B10. So that is all the way down here at the far end. So that is a good walk. Luckily we got in early, and I've got time to get down there. So, plenty of time to walk, checking out the airport, looking at all the different shops they have here. It's amazing to me how airports have become more like a mall than a mall is a mall anymore. It's really kind of neat how they've got these things on the floor too. I remember SeaTac doing that many years ago, and now it seems like just about everywhere. Oh look, the moving sidewalk is closed on the direction where I need to go, so I guess we're going to have to old school it and just walk beside it. I sure love those moving sidewalks, especially in big airports like this. Helps you get there faster, allows you to just stand if you want, off to the side of course, so people can go by you. Either way, let's keep going. I'm getting there. Where did I start at? B68. I got to go to B9. So quite the walk, but I'm making it. I'm getting there. Got plenty of time. Still got like 45, 50 minutes before we even board. So yeah, plenty of time. So it took me about 27 minutes to walk across the airport there. No, I wasn't just walking in a hurry. I wasn't trying to OJ Simpson it through the airport to get to my Hertz rental car. I was just walking and looking and checking things out because I knew I had time. But check out this gate area. Look at these tables here, the chairs. This area honestly reminded me of another airport. I can't remember which one it was. It was either in Paris at Charles de Gaulle or it was in Bordeaux, France. I don't remember which one of those two, but I know for sure it was on that trip. With the way they have the tables and chairs over there and other seating and stuff, I don't know, flashbacks. I guess maybe because I haven't flown a whole lot since then. But yeah, I love these tables here, workstations with the plugins there. They have USB as well as your regular plug-in. So that is really cool if you've got to do some work or if you just want to sit there and watch a movie on your laptop or whatever it is. But there's my plane. That's the one I'll be getting on here momentarily. Just doing the obligatory checking it out as the sun is coming up here in Denver. You can see it starting to rise over there. Well, the reflection off the clouds. So yeah, just spending some time walking around, just not wanting to sit down yet, even though I just walked clear across this freaking terminal. But no, I am just going to stretch the legs a little bit longer because, you know, going to be sitting on a plane for just a little over 2 hours, I think is what the projected flight is into Seattle. So let's look around a little bit more.
Hello everyone, my name is Morley, working alongside Alan. We'll be working the departure of United Flight 2271 to Seattle. Can I please have your attention for a few quick announcements? We're aiming for an on-time departure, so to expedite the boarding process, we're looking for 10 customers in groups 1 through 5 to see me at the podium. Check their carry-on bag for no additional cost before we start boarding. This will help you comfortably settle into your seats, and volunteers will be welcome to board with Group 2. For customers traveling with a stroller, please see me at the podium to receive a special handling tag prior to boarding. For customers requiring wheelchair assistance, either now or upon arrival, please see me at the podium prior to boarding. If you need a tag for your mobility device or you need to arrange for wheelchair service.
Before we knew it, it was time to get on that plane, and I wanted to check something. I wanted to know if I've lost enough weight to fit into an airplane bathroom, and I did. So I took my first ever restroom selfie. Check it out. And yes, the seatbelt fit on this one too, with a little extra room, so that was nice. And away we go.
Please proceed for departure. Thank you.
absolutely love these screens on the backs of the seats in front of you here that shows you the map. Of course, you can watch all sorts of things, movies, whatever, right? But I am a maps kind of guy. I'd love to know whereabouts we are when I'm looking out the window. So I thought this was really cool to be able to track where we are, and there we are over Wyoming on our way, and we can look out. Of course, it's quite cloudy right now, but I just thought that was really cool. I know they used to have the ones that pop down from like the overhead bins last time I flew, but this is really neat that they do it on the screens in front of you there so you can see it a little bit better. I don't know. I'm a geek. I loved it.
From the flight deck, just...
Flight attendants, please take your jump seats.
Please sit down and fasten your seatbelts.
I just love the approach into SeaTac Airport. Just look at that. We got Tacoma off over there, Commencement Bay. This flight path into the airport here into Seattle is fantastic, so let's check it out.
Our scheduled arrival is 9:59, so we're hoping to be a little early today.
Well, I've made it to Seattle. I have made it finally. My first couple flights in many, many years. Last week was actually 9 years since the last time I flew, but I have made it to Seattle. The flight in was spectacular. The view of the mountains. I could see Rainier, Baker, Hood down in Oregon, Mount St. Helens clear as a day. I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. I loved every moment of that flight coming in. We did have over Wyoming, I think it was, part of Wyoming. Pretty bumpy air there for a while. The crew had to get strapped in and everything. But other than that, I mean, I actually slept a little bit, not much, maybe about 20 minutes. And the same for the first flight from Oklahoma City to Denver. I slept maybe 15 to 20 minutes of it as well, which I don't normally sleep on a plane. So I'll take every bit that I can. But my plan had been, we were supposed to be in at 10 o'clock. I figured if I could be on the road by noon, I would be doing really good. While I am in my rental car, got some kind of Mazda. It's kind of fancy. And it is just not even 10:30. Yes, it's 10:30 right now. So I am well ahead of schedule, which is great. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to hit I-5 south. And I'm going to, first off, though, I got to find me something to drink. I'm parched. I got me a bottle of water in Oklahoma City, and I finished that about halfway through this flight, and I haven't had anything else yet. So going to find some place, maybe a 7-Eleven, grab me a Gatorade, and then hit the road south. First stop will be back home in Tumwater. The drive down was fantastic, going across the bridges, heading into Thurston County. Just look at these trees. Man, we don't get colors like that in Oklahoma. That is one thing I definitely miss about living out there. The colors were absolutely fantastic. Driving through Olympia, I even got to see the Capitol building. Man, you can barely see that thing now with all the trees growing up. But I made it into Centralia where my brother lives. Now, I didn't do a whole lot of video because I was there with him and his wife and their dogs. Oh, his son Jared as well. So I spent some time hanging with the pups, as I always do. And then I went over to my friend Bob's house. And again, private residence, so I didn't really record much. But he took me to dinner here at Talking Cedars, this distillery and brewery. So we ended up enjoying that. So let me show you a little bit of video. I ended up doing the sampler. You got 4 on each sampler, so I ended up doing them both so I could try all 8, as well as we shared these fresh jalapeno poppers here. They were really good. There's the second set of the beers there. Yeah, they were actually pretty good. I especially liked their Northwest IPA.
There's no way he would have pulled me over in that car.
That's a big ass piece of chicken.
Mm-hmm. That's a little overcooked, but
Better than under.
that burger, yours looks pretty simple.
That's going to be it for day 1 of my trip as we take a look at Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do. Thank you so much for watching.